What's up, fam? I'm Ryan Milton from TeamFFLEX. You're on my show I do every Monday for you called Protein Power. And on this show, we talk about everything from dieting, contest prep, fat loss, nutrition, everything that you basically want to know about getting results with your nutrition side of things. Today, we're going to dive into bikini competitor body fat percentage. This is something I've been getting asked more recently, and I've also been getting asked my entire damn career what the ideal bikini competitor body fat percentage actually is. Today, I'm gonna break it down for you. Please do me a favor, subscribe to this channel and then share out this video. I'm Ryan Milton from TeamFFLEX. You are on Protein Power. So this is a question I've got since the dawn of time when I started coaching bikini competitors to even today, while I'm still coaching bikini competitors. We on TeamFFLEX, we coach a lot of bikini competitors, and this question comes up and I see it on social and it's always coming up. Hey, what is the most ideal body fat percentage for a bikini competitor? Really, competitors ask the question because they want to know, hey, what level do I need to get to on my little scale or my body fat tester or my little caliper to know that I'm ready to go on stage? And the answer that I have for you is one that you're not going to like, ladies. There is no specific ideal body fat percentage. Let me say it one more time. There is no specific ideal body fat percentage, and I'm going to tell you why, and then I'm going to tell you why these tracking and these mechanisms like this are not always something you should put so much weight into. So first things first, understand this. There are 0 judges in the Npc and the Ifbb that are going to take a body fat reading on you, period, on your show day. It's just not going to happen. It will never happen. You're never going to, in other words, be judged by your body fat percentage. So in a lot of ways, when you sit there and you're worried about it, it's a wrong metric from the start from what's actually happening at the judging table. Judges are always looking for this. Do you fit the criteria of the division? And that, in this situation, is bikini. So in the bikini division, guess what they want to see? They want to see the proper level of foundation. This kind of hourglass shape is really everything. And then the right level of conditioning. Notice how they don't say, we need to see you at 13, 15, 5% body fat. That's not a thing. That's not in the criteria, and it's also not judged. When you step out on stage in your bikini against your class and during your individual routine, what they're looking at is those things I just said. What is your foundation of muscle? Do you have the right shape, size, symmetry, and proportion? Are you at the correct level of conditioning? And then they roll into how's your presentation, how is your posing, how's your hair, your makeup, is your suit here, blah, blah, blah. They got to look at all these things. And that is how they decide your placing in a bikini competition. There is no specific marker for that body fat percentage, and it's not something that the judges are going to ask you, that you have to put on a form, that there's going to be a guy backstage with a body fat tester being like, hey, you're not at this level, you can't go on stage. That doesn't happen, ladies. It doesn't happen. I'll tell you what, though. This still, even if I say this, will come up, and it's going to continue to come up. People will keep asking me, what's the ideal though? Because even on the back side of things, a lot of coaches want to promote certain body fat percentage and say that's a thing. A lot of competitors think that because they were this body fat percentage once, that they need to be there again because they did well then, so on and so forth. In other words, there's a lot of bro science coming into the factor of trying to place in a bikini competition, where now we're getting a bunch of, mixed feedback from different coaches, different competitors, different people. Here's the truth though about your body fat percentage. Since it's not something that is actually judged, what you actually have to do is also understand that it does not have a standard. There is no standard, ladies and gents, and any of you coaches watching, for what body fat percentage you need to be at to compete in bikini. And I'll tell you this, I've worked with thousands of athletes over the years, and I've seen consistently oh, well, this person's body fat percentage is here, they won their show. This percentage is different, they won their show. This percentage is different here, they won their show. This person is super shredded lean, and this might be the leanest person, and they didn't win their show. And this is because it doesn't fit the criteria of the division sometimes to focus too much on your body fat percentage. Keep in mind, every single person's muscle composition, an actual ratio from body fat to muscle, is going to be different. Their height's going to be different. Their genetic structure will be different. And guess what this means? A percentage of body fat, a machine tells you, it looks different. And so when you come out on stage and the judges, they're not caring about those numbers, they're not caring about anything, they're looking at your aesthetic. If you come in because you think that, okay, every girl that competes bikini has to be at 13% body fat, but you're a tall, kind of lengthier person, you might actually come out looking too lean if you hit 13%. You might need to be in the higher tiers, and so on and so forth. And what I'm saying is, you can actually hurt yourself by shooting for a specific percentage over your actual aesthetic on stage. 1, 2, 3! Now this becomes significantly more important as you go further down the line as a competitor, right? Because when you start in the novice divisions, you're going to see a wide variance of what you see on stage, okay? Your first show, doing novice, true novice, those type of things, you're going to see a variance in competitors. Some are going to be lean, some are going to be a little less lean, some of them will be a lot less lean. And it's basically, it's the novice class. People are getting their bearings, they're getting their first round, their first rodeo, in other words. They're coming on stage, they're going to get feedback, and they're going to come back better. And that's what everybody does, right? All competitors do that. Every show they do, they place a certain way. Maybe they win, maybe they don't, maybe they get somewhere in the middle, and they take their feedback, they come back better, they go put it to work, they do another show. And the further you get down the line, when we're coming into nationals and things like that, you're going to see a higher variance in regards to how good the physiques actually are, as opposed to a variance of maybe, oh, this person's way off, this person's on point. No, you're going to see a lot more people in the ballpark of being right on point, to where the judging becomes more difficult for the judges. However, guess what? Even in that, at the national level, and guess what? Even the Ifbb Pro League, they are not judging your body fat percentage. Nobody's looking and saying, oh, she's at 15, she's at 12, well, maybe she's at 9, we got to mark these down, move them this. No, that doesn't happen. It doesn't happen, okay? And I'm going to tell you this. Here's the next big thing. A lot of these tests you take, ladies and gents, anybody watching, your coaches, your friends, your family, you're a competitor. You got to understand, these tests are not accurate. Body fat tests have such a high variability, it's actually crazy, okay? I will challenge anybody who wants to contest this. Go take 5 different body fat tests using a different machine, using a different, method, and you're going to get 5 different results, and you could do it in the same day. And if you don't believe me, seriously, go do that. Please go do it. Go do a hydrostatic, do a handheld, do a caliper, do, any of these other variances, a scale you stand on, all that, a handheld, and you will get a different result for every single one. Because for one, every single one of these methods has a different way of going about your body fat percentage. And a lot of them do rely on specific things like your hydration level to appropriately work. So guess what? You drink a little more water one day, you drink a little less one day, you get a different body fat result, a different readout. I've actually done experiments years ago when I was really trying to figure all this stuff out, where I would purposely wake up in the morning, take a body fat percentage after not drinking water at night, and then an hour later after I drank, a quarter gallon of water or something, test it again. Dramatically different results just because of the hydration level. And every scale these days, everybody steps on it, it tells you your body fat percentage. It's not accurate. I want to really bring this up, that it's really not accurate. Probably the most accurate version of body fat testing we know about today is hydrostatic testing, and that's hard to do. There's other very accurate tests that you would have to go to a clinic to get. It's not ones you're doing at home on your scale, stepping on things, doing a caliper even, or holding all these have user error for one, and then they just have a variability. There is no 100% accurate way to track body fat in today's world. Nothing 100%. These are all best guess estimations when it gives you a percentage, okay? And that's what you have to understand out the gate. Another reason it's not really the best idea to pay so much attention, put so much weight into some dang percentage on a machine or a caliper or anything else. It's not necessarily accurate, and it's not always going to reflect accurately, okay? You hear about competitors, you know, they'll post on their Instagram, oh, I'm at 5-6% and I'm a bikini competitor. No, you're not. Nope, that's some type of error you got going on tracking wise. You know, your machine's off. I don't know what the hell you think you're talking about. 5-6% as a female bikini competitor, there's no way you would ever place a show in your life because you would be way too lean. We're talking, that's like bodybuilder level lean, and if you know anything about the sport of bikini, you cannot be too lean, otherwise you will score down. It doesn't fit the criteria of the division. So anybody out there saying that, you know, it's crazy. We see a wide variance of things. I've had clients tell me they're at 9% body fat and things, and I know they're not, and I'm telling them, hey, you know what, honestly, don't put so much weight into that word. We still got work to do because I'm looking at your pictures, I'm looking at the rest of your check-ins. It's not telling the same story as this machine or this number on the scale. So understand that. All these body fat tests, best guess estimations. They're a best guess. They're not 100% concrete, and they're not always going to give you a concrete result. In fact, they probably never will, okay? So how do you use these things? Well, for one, I would tell you, I wouldn't even worry about it. As a coach, I'm very rarely ever looking at anybody's percentages that they enter or anything like that. I let my clients track it. I let my athletes track it. Yeah, absolutely, because they want to. It's cool. We got a good feature in our coaching app where you can see your progression. That's awesome. So let them track it. But I'm never in my mind ever once to this day, thousands of athletes and clients over the years, I've never looked at a body fat percentage and said, oh, I better change things. Never done that. What I've always done is look at the aesthetic, look at the athlete, look at their check-ins, look at their pictures, look at their measurements. What am I seeing? What are the judges going to look for? And what are they going to want to see? And it never comes down to a percentage. It also never comes down to a stage weight. It never comes down to any of those things. What happens when you step on stage is you're getting judged on how you look, and that's what you need to understand. That's what really got to hammer home in you. If you do want to use body fat tests and things like that, the best way to do it is to pick one, no matter what it is. If you got a little handheld you bought on Amazon, good for you. You got a little caliper that you think you're an expert at, good for you. If you got a little scale you step on, good for you. But what you got to do is stick to one, and then test only, every now and then, every 2 weeks, every month, whatever. And don't pay attention to the fluctuations. Okay, so if it says you're up in body fat, well, all right, cool, I'll check it again in 2 weeks. If it says you're down, all right, cool, I'll check it again in 2 weeks. And over time, a span of like 8, 12, 16 weeks, look at the trends, because it's going to go like this. Your body fat test graph will go like this. It's going to be up, down. It's going to say all variants of things. What matters is the trajectory. In other words, if you're trying to lose body fat and it's going like this, that's fine as long as it ends up lower, right? Because that means at the end of the day, yeah, we don't know your exact percentage, but we know you're losing body fat. And if the trajectory, in other words, is going up the whole time, well, you know what? Guess what? Sorry, you might be gaining weight instead. But the point is, you can't look at any one marker and know the whole story. You got to look at the time plot. The dots won't connect until you look back. So you got to give enough time, 8, 12, 16 weeks before you can really make big, major jump changes, assessments based on that. And again, honestly, I would tell you, don't even do it. Don't even pay that much attention to it. You're going to know, your coach, if you got a good coach, they're going to know how you look, if you look right, if you're at the right body fat, if you're at the right look to go on stage or not. That's going to happen aesthetically. And the crazy thing is, there is no one number. There is no one metric. You should not shoot for some pro you watched on Instagram, their body fat percentage they post about. Don't shoot for that. There is no standard. And I want to make sure y'all understand that, all right? So I hope that all of you out here watching today, you got something out of this. Hopefully some bikini competitors watching. This kind of correlates over into every division, honestly. They're not testing your body fat. But the point is, overall, you got to understand, hey, it's almost a worthless thing to pay attention to. It's just another number that people let rule them. And in reality, it's about your aesthetic. It's about your look. That's what the judges want to see. That's what they want to judge you on stage. And that's how you're going to win your shows. Go get a pro card. Do all these things. It doesn't come down to numbers on a scale or metrics on a calculator or, you know, any of these body fat tests, anything like that. It just doesn't come down to that, okay? What comes down to it is if you have the right programming, the right approach, the right presentation, the right stuff that's going to get you to that day where you bring what the division is looking for. And so with that, I hope you guys got something out of this. Maybe some coaches watching, whatever. Anybody that needs help figuring out how to train for bikini, you want to understand this kind of stuff more, this video was maybe helpful to you, go to my website right now, TeamFFLEX.com. Subscribe to the free trial. It's a pop-up. It'll come right at you. Put your email in. That is an automatic invitation to our VIP private coaching app. This is where we train all of our athletes. Nobody gets access to this unless you're an athlete or you're on the trial. And that's the way it works. We don't have it for free for anybody. It is out there for only our athletes and you on the trial. And we're going to let you try it free for the next 7 days. And when you get in there, it's pretty cool because we're going to work with you one-on-one to build you some custom workouts, show you a little bit about it, talk with you about your physique, assessments, things like that. We do the whole experience, the same stuff we do for our clients for you, free for the next 7 days. We treat you just like a client. It is an opportunity you simply don't want to miss out on if you're serious about being your best competitor. It's absolutely free, no obligation. Why wouldn't you do it? So you should do it. TeamFFLEX.com. Subscribe to that box and I'll see you on the other side. Thank you for watching Protein Power. I'm Ryan Milton from TeamFFLEX. See you tomorrow for the Iron Palace. Coach Rye is out.